Does appear that this summer is going to be a pivotal one for him. We all know about his ambitions to win trophies, his ambitions to play at the very highest level. Um, are Tottenham really, I think, baked in at this point that they're going to have to be fending off some really serious interests? Because there are a number of clubs who could be interested in him, of course. Manchester United may be looking for a striker, although, of course, they still have the option of Cavani there as a short-term fix. Liverpool, perhaps there's change of foot there. And also at Chelsea, where they're still looking for the real solution.
Look, every big club in world football, I think, would be interested in Harry Kane outside of maybe Real Madrid and Bayern Munich with Karim Benzema and Lewandowski, respectively. But Harry Kane has also said, reportedly, that he wants to stay in the Premier League. So if you look around the Premier League, and I think you tick all the boxes there. We've spoken about Manchester City. Cavani signed a one-year deal. That's a stopgap solution for them. So I think Manchester United would be interested in Harry Kane, and rightly so. You could say the exact same for Chelsea, given the struggles of Timo Werner playing in that position. So any club in the Premier League who feels they can match Harry Kane's own ambition, who can meet what his agent would be asking for, I think would have a stake in what happens this summer. But this summer, more than most, has given the pandemic, and I continue to believe that clubs are hurting far worse financially than maybe they're letting on or we recognize. So it will be very odd to see how those clubs who ordinarily are awash with money, and any kind of transfer fee is no kind of hurdle. But I think a lot of them will have to be moving assets around if they are to meet Daniel Levy's valuation of Harry Kane. So that'll be interesting to watch. But and as I say, given the clubs involved, who all would be interested, it makes it a really interesting game of chicken, as it were, as to who goes highest and strongest for Harry Kane.
If he could name his club, who do you think it would be in the Premier League? If he could have his pick, let's say that they're all awash with cash, they can all meet the valuation, which is, as you mentioned, a tough ask when it comes to Daniel Levy negotiations, of course. But let's say that all of them want him. Where does he best fit in, or where would you advise him best to land?
If it were right now, I go Manchester City, defending Premier League champions. They're already European finalists, so we'll see what that means in a couple of weeks' time, if we're talking about defending Premier League and European champions. Chelsea can stake a similar claim if they do win the Champions League final themselves. And with a manager of Thomas Tuchel and how things have turned around under his guidance, I think that's also a very interesting prospect. But of course, Manchester United are a very big club, and according to the financial analysts, the second biggest club in world football, the biggest club in English football. And given their own struggles over recent years, ever since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson, to go into that club to again deliver a Premier League glory might be a project that Harry Kane will warm to and feel strongly about. So it all comes down to what he's looking for right now and how those clubs best sell where they are and where they're going under Harry Kane. So that the short answer to that, Ross, is there really is no wrong answer for Harry Kane here. It all comes down to how he feels and what he wants out of the remaining years of his career.
And of course, there's been issues about his fitness in the past, but he's put up his best numbers in 3 years, not only in goals scored, but in minutes on the field as well. I suppose his main contention right now is finishing the season with Spurs, ensuring that there is European football for sure for Tottenham Hotspur next season, regardless of what happens with his move. But then, of course, the big focus is the summer with England.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, it is. And it's a big summer for Harry Kane in a number of respects. Again, as reported, he says to Daniel Levy that he wants this all sorted before the Euros start. You can understand that he doesn't want to have to be dealing with that, with the speculation, while he's representing England in the summer. And given the promise of this English national team, you understand why. But if you're Harry Kane, it's a good place to be in regardless.
If you were a betting man, does he move this summer?
Yes. I just don't feel that Spurs can match his ambition. And as you look at that dressing room, and never mind who's manager and what is to come, as you look at that dressing room, you just feel that this is it's more long-term project. And Harry Kane probably thinks he's given Spurs a significant chunk of his own career. They've not really progressed that much since he first burst onto the scene. And if he does want to recognize domestic silverware, he probably has to move right now.
So trophy's the name of the game for Harry Kane at this position in his career. Maybe there's one coming with country rather than club first off this summer with England. A long road ahead for Harry Kane and his future. Keep it right here at ESPN FC, as always, to track every single turn in a possible transfer saga.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.